Our house was turned upside down about a month ago when we started our kitchen renovation project. We have completely gutted the kitchen, so everything is now moved into this area that you're seeing right here, which has become our makeshift kitchen for this time period. The hard part is not knowing or remembering where we put anything and having everything scattered throughout the entire house. It's very confusing. You go to find something and you're like, where is the coffee cups? Where are the plates? Where are the pans? And they're just everywhere. I am trying to keep some sort of normalcy during this time with my schedule and homemaking with the kids and everything else that has been going on. But during this month, we also had Christmas and the New Year. We went away for a few days up to Pismo Beach, and there has just been so much going on besides everything with the house, but also working full time from home during this process. So what I'm sharing today is just a New Year home reset. This is what we've been up to for the last month or so while homemaking during this kitchen renovation. One thing I noticed is how much dust has been blown through the entire house. No matter how hard I try to stay on top of the vacuuming and cleaning, dusting, wiping, it has not been easy because, of course, as my husband Grant is sawing and working on drywall, there's just a lot of mess that is blowing through the house. But we are trying to stick to our regular schedule, and I am getting used to cooking in a different area and just trying to keep up with everything that we normally do, the laundry and keeping the house organized and tidy. One thing I realized is that I needed to set up a area for cooking that would be in the garage, essentially, where we could wash the dishes, cook a few things so we didn't steam up the house too much. And one thing that we had out in the backyard were these tables. And this was something that Grant was using for projects out here when we were working in the backyard. And they were left out here, as you can see, for a really long time, covered in spider webs, black widows. And so my mom and I were out here trying to clean these the best we could because I thought this would be the perfect thing to use in the garage while we are working on this project. This is all part of homemaking during your renovation.
Yes.
Not reservation, renovation.
Yes.
What are we talking about, Levi? I'm getting confused. That clip right there shows you how easy it is to talk to a camera. It's almost impossible. The second you start talking, you end up using the wrong words and it all sounds crazy. You got to say it again and again. But that's a lot of what it looks like when I just use the clip and I'm not sure what I want to say. Turn to the camera, say something, and it comes out sounding like that. Anyway, we got the table cleaned and Grant covered it with plastic. Then I also covered it with a tablecloth. Now we got most of the spiders off of here, but I am noticing after a few weeks of using this table that more webs are accumulating. So I might need to look under that table and make sure I got all the spiders off of there because I don't want to get bit and I also don't like all the webs. This was just one of the first days, maybe the third day that we were using this whole setup, so we were still adjusting everything. That's going to be my new way of doing dishes here in the garage. This is how we'll be spending probably Christmas and New Year's. Garage homemaking. Pretty funny, but that's okay. I think I'm going to head to the store and get all the things that I probably need to make our makeshift kitchen function, like an extension cord and one of those multiple plug, I can't think of the word, but you know, where you can plug a whole bunch of things in, just so we can plug in everything we need to run the kitchen. And I'm probably going to end up buying a 2-burner electric stovetop, I guess you could say. And then we'll just set up a table right outside our side door where we can cook. So that way all the steam and everything can just be outside and all the smell, since we won't have an extractor fan. Just those kind of things. It's kind of like camping, but in your own house, which is fine. I'm thankful that I have a sink. I'm thankful that I have electricity. And I'm thankful that we can just go get food if we need to out, or I can drive to my mom's house, which is really close, and we can cook there, she said. So I'm just excited that the kitchen is finally happening and the first day is done. We are now on to the next day, which is the kitchen's completely demoed, and we are having them come back to start on the electric and the plumbing. So all positive things. We have this plug-in electric fry pan, which has been great because we can cook things like rice and heat up hamburgers, all kinds of things, make grilled cheese sandwiches, and it's quite deep, so I can cook a lot of food. We have been relying on bags of things like rice that is kind of semi pre-cooked, and then adding our own vegetables and heating things up that are similar to that. It is harder to make a lot of different things because we don't have an oven. We only have this one plug-in pan, and then we do end up getting a electric top cooker. So there's just a different way of eating with this, which is more simplified, I guess, and then relying a little bit more on somewhat pre-cooked packaged things. I wouldn't call it packaged food because it's just pre-cooked rice and things like that. Then I am continuing to work in the backyard. We are expecting a lot of rain in a few days, and this made me want to get out here and clean up as best as possible. I'm also trying to eradicate the big bougainvillea bush, as you can see here. So whenever I get a chance, usually around lunchtime, I will take a break and come out here and just start chopping away. I find doing a little bit each week has made it doable and not overwhelming, and the kids come out and they help as well. I try to fill up our green barrel at least once a week. Once that's full, then I wait till it's emptied and then we will fill it up again. So that's kind of the process that I've had lately. Just a little bit goes a long way, and taking my time to do this project, which is just keeping up with the yard. The kitchen renovation is currently going on still. Grant is painting right now, the drywall. He still has to then fix it up more and paint it again the right color. So I'm out here getting out of the house and doing some garden work. Oh yeah, and the goal is to completely get rid of these bougainvilleas. That's essentially what I'm doing right now. I'm actually cutting them at the bottom so they can start to die, so they'll be easier to get rid of. Whenever we are at the end of a year and heading into a new year, I usually like to sit down and reflect on what was working really great the previous year, what wasn't working, what I should change in our home or my business, and just do a little bit of reflection. And then I also like to come up with a word of the year. I don't necessarily make New Year's resolutions because honestly, I don't really see the point. I don't tend to look at things in years, like one year ends, the next year begins. It is good for reflection, like I said, but I don't necessarily think of it as, okay, that is done and now we're starting fresh. It's just the next day, in my opinion. It just continues on. I do have to say that I don't feel as motivated to come up with a word of the year or even think of a resolution. And my thinking is that because we have so much going on here around our house and, these projects, that maybe I will wait till everything calms down and is done before I really do a lot of reflecting. There just really hasn't been the time for that right now. And I'm still trying to get our house set up. I realized that we needed another place to put things like our coffee pot and our hot water kettle. Things that we use every single day needed another area. So I ended up setting up this card table that is now coming in handy. I got this from the thrift store about a year ago, and we pull it out every once in a while, but now it's really come in handy. I'm so happy that I have it because we are now using this as a secondary kitchen area for all of our stuff. And the kitchen really is coming along. It had been completely gutted, and then we do have a team of a few guys helping us with electric and plumbing, and they've already put in all the can lights, and it's way further along than you're seeing right here. They've already got all of the drywall in, and Grant is currently putting in the cupboards. So you will see all of that over on our other channel, Wood Guru. I will link that in the description box down below. But this is where Grant is storing all of the cupboards that he made before, the demo even started, and he's starting to install them. We were really feeling the pressure on this day for Grant, especially to get all of these cupboards in the kitchen. And I also wanted to chop down more of this bush because we had a huge rainstorm coming to Southern California. We were expecting what did they call it? Like a river of rain, something, I don't know, atmospheric river. Anyway, it did hit the day after what you're seeing right here. So we were under a lot of pressure, especially Grant, to get all of these pre-made cupboards into the kitchen because he didn't want them to get wet, even though he had plastic on them and they were under the overhang. He did not want to have that much moisture on them. We were also just unsure of exactly how much rain we would get, which we did get a ton of rain, but luckily we were not in an area that flooded and we didn't have any kind of water damage, but we were feeling that pressure. So he was just working as fast as he possibly could. While we had the ladder out, I took the opportunity to clear out our gutters because that's another thing. We don't get rain all that often, but we had a lot of wind. So there were tons of leaves and debris in the gutter. And if that's not cleared out, it ends up looking like a waterfall where the water is just pouring over the gutter. And essentially the gutters are not working at that point. And again, we didn't want to have that happen because if the cupboards weren't in the kitchen in time, we didn't want them getting wet. So there was just a ton of things that needed to happen. I also decided, as you're seeing here, to drop down these shade covers because that would make it a lot easier to cut more of this bush. Plus, with the rain coming, we thought that would be a perfect way for the rain to naturally clean those and just get all of that, that you can see right there, all of those flowers and leaves and things that collect there. You can see here why I want this bush to be gone. Imagine all of those little leaves getting into your house because of the way the wind blows in this one area where our back door is. All of those flowers are constantly dropping all year long. And that's the thing about California is we have good weather, so we have things blooming all year long. But that also means with this bougainvillea, which is, perfect for the side of a freeway or something like that. But having it in our backyard and having this constantly drop and get tracked into the house and blow into the house if the door is left open has just become the breaking point for me. So that's why we are getting rid of it. It is beautiful, but it's honestly not worth it. So now we're just putting everything into the garage that we can because we're waiting for that rain to start. And with the project going on, we didn't have a lot of room in the garage. So we were trying to fit everything in there. We just weren't sure exactly how much rain was going to come down and how long it was going to last. I was looking everywhere for my reusable grocery bags and I could not find them. I could not think of where I put them. That is the problem when everything is upside down. But I finally found them in the closet. Yay! We finally got the electric burner, so now we can boil things and cook things, more than one item at a time. The kids were really excited because we were able to start making noodles, which they love, and we're making ravioli this night. And I really love this. I can link it down below. It's worked perfectly so far, so we're really happy with that, and it just makes cooking a little bit easier through this process. The rain finally hit and it lasted all through Christmas. We ended up moving Christmas that we normally have at our house over to my parents' house. So we had Christmas Eve at their house. We had dinner there. And then, of course, we came home and then we had Christmas morning at their house as well, which was really nice because it felt great to be in a house that was not under construction. It's also fun to switch it up once in a while. We always have Christmas at our house, at least the last few years. And so it was a fun treat to have it over at their house. We ended up spending about half the day on Christmas Day at their house, and then we came home. And this is the day after Christmas. I decided that I had had enough of the Christmas decorations. Something about having the decorations up while you are under construction and having this area extra cramped since moving the table into this living room. Honestly, I had just had enough of all the extra stuff out and looking at all the visual clutter. It became too much for me. And what's funny is when I decorated, I even said, I'm putting less out this year because I was not sure when the project would start. And then we were notified 2 days before the project was going to start that the guys were ready to come. So we had very little time, and I was very thankful that I had put way less Christmas decorations out. But even the stuff that I had put out became a lot once we moved everything around. So it felt really good to start putting this away. I was very motivated to get this all cleaned up. I am the type of person who always likes to take all of the Christmas decorations down the day after Christmas. It's just my personality. I feel like once Christmas is done, I am absolutely done with that whole season, and I don't want to look at anything Christmassy. That's okay if you keep it up. I know a lot of people love to keep it up, and I'm sure people will comment that they want to keep it up for, 7 days or 14 days or something like that after Christmas, which is super cool if you love that. But for me, I just want to clear it out. And my mom actually called me when we went home from Christmas and said that she took down all the Christmas decorations on Christmas Day. So by the end of the day, all of her Christmas decorations were completely packed away and she was done. So that's what I'm doing here. And it's funny, these pillows, because I didn't even know what I had under each pillowcase. So it was kind of a surprise. And then what was interesting is I was also shocked by how it was all fitting in there. But somehow I was able to get all this down pretty quickly, and it was a very easy process. I feel like, how is everything fitting so easily? I definitely think I'm missing something because it's all fitting in super easy, and normally it's a tight fit. Yeah. It's just weird. I'm for sure gotta be missing some stuff. Got to be missing stuff. Well, I know I got the blanket in the washing machine and the dryer, so I got that. It turned out the only thing that was missing from the bin was a light up gnome that my son had in his bedroom. I decided I would declutter that, and this is so funny because my mom was here and she said, "Oh, I'll take it. I have room in my bins." So I have a feeling that that gnome will be coming to a decluttering video soon, because a lot of the time she will take stuff and then it will end up getting decluttered down the line. But I'm just resetting our home now. Whenever I switch decor around, I always like to take a minute to wipe everything down, clean, and reassess how everything is set up. If this was our normal situation, I might move some furniture around. I might redecorate some stuff. Just moving things to different locations can always give a fresh feel to our home, which I love doing. But because we are, renovating, I will probably wait until we are done with that whole process before I spend too much time redecorating and moving things. If this was a normal end of the year video, I would probably be deep cleaning my whole house, but I kind of don't see the point right now with just everything that's going on. But I am cleaning what I can, and I'm also rehanging all the art up that I had out previously because I still want our home to feel warm and cozy. And it's crazy how refreshed it feels just by taking down the Christmas decor and putting up what we normally have, which is a lot less than the Christmas decorations. And here's some art that my mom did a while back, and I had this up here before, but it feels great to put it back up and see everything looking normal. I also still had the fall art up here, so I was switching that out. Normally I switch the painting itself out and keep the frame, but I already had this painting of oranges framed. This is something my mom painted, which I can link down below. She sells this as a digital download, and it's such a cute painting. This was in our kitchen previously, so I had this in my office just waiting till the kitchen's done, and this was the perfect spot to put it. I think it's a fresh feel for the new year. The one thing I am keeping up with is all the warm, low lighting. I love that all the way through winter because it gets dark so early still. I like to have all my candles. They automatically switch on around 4:30, 5-ish, and they go till about 10. I just love how warm and cozy it feels with this lighting. I go around each evening, I shut the curtains, and I turn on all the lamps. After a full day of resetting and getting our house back to normal, I thought it would be nice to end this evening with a warm cup of tea. I am loving farmhouse teas. That is where I've been getting my tea from. And this gingerbread spice tea is delicious. Highly recommend it. I will link all their teas that I love down below in the description box. They are fun to make, and it's just a great ritual to end the evening. It's a way that I like to relax, and my husband and I usually will have a tea during the day, especially in the winter when it's cold. Our house is so cold. It's about 65 in here if we don't have the heater on, and because of the project, we've had the heater off a lot. So having some warm tea is just a wonderful way to end the evening. It felt so nice to finally sit down on my couch with my tea and enjoy the warm light and my clean, refreshed house. I would like to invite you to join my free email list. I will have that in the description box below. I send out decluttering inspiration and a notification of my weekly YouTube videos. My mom and I are also working on some weekly decluttering videos that will be coming out each Wednesday. Thank you so much for being here. If you're new, you can hit the subscribe button to join my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.